Hello guys, welcome to my channel Code and Learn. So in this video, we'll talk about what is variables in Java. So variables are stored memory locations that is used for storing anything in Java. That means suppose you want to store a number or you want to store a word, then you need to have a variable declared. So that is basically the work of a variable. So in this case, the memory location XXFD8 has a variable stored as A. That means 50 is the address of the variable A. Okay. Now let's see how to declare a variable. So the declaration of variable goes like this. First you have to write variable data type and then space variable name and then put a semicolon sign. Now semicolon why? Semicolon acts as a statement ender. That means in Java, whenever you write a statement, that means you are doing something. Suppose in this case declaring a variable. So you have to end with a semicolon sign. For example, int a semicolon. Now it tells the compiler that you are storing a number in the variable name a. Okay. Like this, float b will store a number as well, but a fractional number. Now similarly, string s will store a word or a sentence. Like this, you have to declare a variable with which you are doing the program. Okay. Now let's see what are the different data types a variable can have. Now the data types in Java is classified into two types. That is primitive and non-primitive. Now what do you mean by primitive data type? That means when the language was created, the basic data types with which we can do the program, that was called as primitive data types. That means the built-in data types that Java language provides itself. Now primitive data types is also classified in two sections. One is Boolean data type, another is numerical data type. And non-primitive data types, for example, non-primitive data types are string, arrays. We'll see what are these strings, arrays in the later sections. Okay. Now just focus on the primitive data types. Now first the Boolean data types, it specifies the value and the return of Boolean is only 2. That means it can either be false or true. Now we'll see the numerical data type in a detailed section. Now what is a numerical data type? What are the numerical data types Java can have? So number one is byte, then short, then int, then long, then float, and then double. Now byte and short are not frequently used due to the limited size. So what we generally use in programming is the int data type. Now what is int? Int is a 32-bit data type that is used to store any whole number. Okay. That means like 1, 2, 250 like this. But the range of integer number is minus 2 to the power 32 to 2 to the power 32 minus 1. Okay. So it has a limited range as well. So next is long. Now what is long? Long is a larger int. That means it has larger range than integer. So long acts as the same data type as int, but it has a larger range. That means it is 64-bit data, which the range is from minus 2 to the power 64 to 2 to the power 64 minus 1. That means suppose you want to store a larger distance or larger value, then instead of integer you can use the long variable, long data type. Okay. Now let's focus the next data type, that is called float. Now float is a data type that is used to represent any fractional number like 3.2, 4.5, etc. And the next data type is called double. So double is just like the upgraded version of float, which is a larger float, which is used to represent any fractional number but in precise format. That means the precision of double is greater than float. Suppose you want to represent any number like 1.789 or 2.369875. In that scenario, instead of float, you have to use the double variable. Okay. Now let's talk about the non-numerical data types in Java. So the first data type that is the number one is the character data type, or in Java you can represent with char. So the character data type is used to store any alphanumeric character, and it is enclosed in single quotes. For example, like capital A, capital B, all are characters that are enclosed in single quotes. Now the next data type is a non-primitive data type, but it is non-numerical as well. It is called string. Now string is basically a combination of multiple characters. Okay. So combination of multiple characters means, suppose if you combine A and B together, then a string data type will be formed. For example, here the hello world, you can see the hello world section HELLO, all are individual characters. If you combine all the characters together, then you will get the hello world. In this case, the space as a works as a character too. Okay, so it is enclosed in double quotes. Like this way, you can declare any string data type. So string s equals to quote and learn, for example. So it is enclosed in double quote, and after that you have to use the semicolon sign as I told you before. So that's it for the video. In the next section we will discuss what are the operators in Java. Till then, bye everyone.